Dubuque's return. Months-long construction of the road has been completed. A tradition like no other, the annual Fry Fest brings Hawkeyes from across the country.
Hawks win big. Iowa starts 1-0 behind New Star.
All that and more
coming up right now on DITV.
Good morning from Iowa City and happy Labor Day to everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is Monday, September 2nd, and I'm Grace Lathrop.
And I'm Brady Barron.
And the third member of our team, Jace Bertrand, is live in the newsroom to tell us what to expect in weather in the upcoming days.
Hi guys, and yeah, it's looking like we're going to get a break from the heat these next few days after a cooler weekend. It is a bright and cool Labor Day morning, and right now it is 58 degrees with a slight breeze. We're going to be drifting on the cooler side of things today with a high of 75, and we're also going to start to feel a little chill in the air with lows of 51. Tomorrow is looking to be a similar story with highs of 76 and lows of 51. I'll be back later for a look ahead at the rest of the week, but for now, back to you, Grace.
Thanks, Jace. And the busy Dubuque Street construction has finally finished, paving the way for cars and people to return to the road. DITV's Ryan Lynch explored the reconstructed road to get people's thoughts on its reopening.
The entertainment, the food, and most importantly, the people have returned to Dubuque Street after the road reopened over the weekend.
Businesses on Dubuque Street remained open during the construction, but provided a barrier for people getting to stores.
The fences are up and everything. It's scary to be around, and like to have to kind of walk through the construction is a lot. So yeah, definitely that was a big barrier for getting to the store.
The end of the construction has brought an increase in student traffic to the businesses on Dubuque Street as students enjoy the outdoor seating that many restaurants have to offer.
Without the construction, it makes it better to just like sit outside, enjoy a drink or a meal.
The roads were blocked, and especially Mickey's, you couldn't sit outside, and that was my favorite part usually during the summer.
The stores have benefited from the roads reopening as they see an increase in business.
Because our name's on the map, it was kind of hard to put a place with where it actually is, just with all the construction. So having Dubuque Street back open this week has kept us really busy.
And even though there is still ongoing construction, Dubuque Street is back in business. From Iowa City, Ryan Lynch, DITV.
The Iowa City Assessor's Office is closed today due to Labor Day. The office will be returning to the newly renovated Johnson County Administration Building located on the 3rd floor in the Health and Sciences Building. Further renovations on the other areas of the building will continue until January of 2025. Businesses are closed today due to Labor Day, but there are additional changes happening around the city. In addition to the government facilities being closed, parking meters will not be enforced and Iowa City Transit will not be running. CAMBus will also have reduced services. Only Red Route, Blue Route, Interdorm, and Hawkeye Interdorm will be running from 8:30 a.m. until 12:30 a.m. Hawkeye football will be facing rival Iowa State on Saturday, but before then, the two schools will be competing in a food drive. The Rival Against Hunger food drive was an idea formulated to celebrate the rivalry between Iowa and Iowa State, while also giving back to the community and those in need.
The food drive supports the campus food pantry, so the food pantry that's in the basement or the lower level of the IMU, and they have a beautiful new space that opened last year, and so the pantry's open to our campus community, so students, faculty, staff.
While individuals can participate by dropping donations off outside of the food pantry located in the IMU, organizations can also form and compete against one another. The Rival Against Hunger food drive competition starts tomorrow on September 3rd and goes until September 13th, while winners and totals can be announced on September 17th. Another person is being charged with participation in a riot that broke out on the Ped Mall in July. 19-year-old Devian Crowder is being charged with punching and kicking pedestrians until they were laying on the ground. 4 other people have been charged with similar crimes in relation to the riots. Police are still searching for those involved, as the fight could have included as many as 24 people. The first installment of Johnson County property and mobile home taxes are due this month. Payments must be paid by September 30th and in person at the Treasurer's Office, by mail, or online at www.iowataxandtags.org. Late payments will receive a 1.5% monthly penalty starting October 1st. Iowa City is hosting a virtual bicycle-friendly community Q&A event at noon on September 10th. The event will allow local bikers to share their experiences riding on the nearby trails and paths. Responses from community members will be taken into consideration as the city works to improve infrastructure and education. The improvements are part of a larger project in Iowa City known as the Bicycle Master Plan. Coralville's I-80 interchange construction is entering its final stages. On Friday, a new intersection connecting the Iowa River Landing to First Avenue opened for drivers. This new route will allow for new entrance into one of the city's busiest developments. The city also opened an extended eastbound I-80 off-ramp, which will help reduce traffic when exiting the interstate.
Boeing might be facing a strike in the coming days. Boeing's contract with the International Association of Mechanists is set to expire on September 12th, and there seems to be little chance for a deal. Unionists are asking for wage increases of 40% over 3 years, better retirement benefits, and improved sharing of medical costs. Boeing's new CEO, Kelly Ortberg, is a University of Iowa graduate.
The 15th annual Fry Fest took place this past Friday, where the Iowa City and Coralville areas celebrated Hawkeye Pride. DITV's Julia Rhodes has more on how Fry Fest prepared Hawks for a new year.
I'm here at the Coralville Conference Center, where fans from all over have come to enjoy food, entertainment, and get ready for another football season.
I think the biggest thing for us as Iowans is community is super important. So having events like this really brings the community together and gets all the fans ready for the first game.
Hawkeyes from all over the state and country return to their alma mater, bringing along friends and family.
My parents always just say get in the car and join along.
We just have some local friends in the North Liberty area and Tiffin area, and they're like, come out to Fry Fest with us, it's a good time. There's a water slide, and I was like, let's go do the water slide, and here we are.
Activities included outdoor and indoor events and an appearance from the Hawkeye Spirit Squad, dance team, and band. While the event helps kick off the Hawkeye football season, former Hawkeyes are able to come back to a home.
I think it's about community, to be able to get together and see people that like the same thing you like, and be able to talk to people and just get to share experiences.
Those who came are open to whoever wants to experience the Hawkeye environment.
There for everybody, so it's fun and very, very fun.
Come, get wet, eat some ice cream.
It's a magical experience. You definitely have to come down and try it.
The 15th annual Fry Fest has Hawkeye fans ready to cheer on their favorite team. From the Coralville Conference Center, this is Julia Rhodes, DITV.
And now we're going to send it back to Jason in the newsroom to give us a look at the forecast for the week ahead.
Thanks, Grace. And yeah, while there are some cooler days ahead, we're not entirely out of the summer yet. We're going to see the temperatures jump up slightly to highs in the 80s on Wednesday and Thursday, along with clouds on Thursday. Don't keep your bathing suits on for too long, because Friday will kick off a trend of temperatures dipping. The weekend will have temperatures into the 60s starting on Saturday. But after all the hotness and stress of last week being the first week of school, I'm going to be happy to get out today and enjoy Labor Day and some calm weather. Back to you, Grace.
Thanks, Jace. Yeah, this fall weather really has me in the mood for some football this season.
Yeah, that's right, Grace. It was an absolute beautiful day last weekend in Kinnick Stadium for the Hawkeye win. DITV's Colin Crithers and Tara Gillespie covered the Hawks' big win and how a true freshman provided a spark to the lackluster offense.
Game 1 of the season for the Iowa Hawkeyes as they hosted the Illinois State Redbirds at Kinnick Stadium. A lot of offseason hype coming in with this team, with the offense and defense. The offense was a little shaky, but the defense picked up right where things left off.
In front of a sold-out crowd that kicked off the season, it was a stellar performance all around from the Hawkeye defense to hold on for 4 quarters of shutout football. This is a defense that returns 8 of their 11 starters from last fall. And today, they only allowed 189 total yards of offense from Illinois State. This was highlighted by an interception and 2 fumble recoveries, showing it took the entire defensive chemistry to put up the goose egg.
I mean, we could have, 11 returning guys, and if we don't play good ball, we could lose to anybody.
Now, as everyone expected, the defense was a highlight for this team, but in that second half of football, Cade McNamara on the offense really picked things up.
Today felt really good to be actually healthy and run around a little bit. I wasn't expecting to run as much as I did today, but it felt good, and, some confidence was built with that.
On top of his rushing, his arm proved fantastic. He's the first Iowa quarterback in nearly 3 seasons to record 3 passing touchdowns, hitting targets Reese Vanderzee and Jacob Gill. He also led the team with 492 total yards, the most from Iowa in 5 years.
Now, fans have to love the way the offense played in the second half, but there's one player who came out unexpectedly and did tremendous for the Hawkeyes today. I'll send it over to Tara Gillespie with more on Reese Vanderzee.
You are absolutely right, Colin. Reese Vanderzee, despite not playing wide receiver for the past 2 years, had no problem scoring 2 touchdowns here in Kinnick. Coming off a spring injury to play in a new crowd of 70,000 might not come easy for some. But for Vanderzee, he experienced no nerves pre-game.
But I got back into it, just trusting my technique, and at the end of the day, you just got to go be an athlete and have fun with it.
Reese Vanderzee scored 2 touchdowns with 66 receiving yards. In a game with a slow-to-start offense, Coach Seth Wallace attributed some of the most impactful plays to the true freshman.
Not surprised at all. However, just to do it in a college football environment, I think that says a lot about Reese.
And not only does Coach Wallace see the potential in the 18-year-old, but his teammates recognize the performance they saw from him as well.
I'm just so proud of him, the way that he was able to perform, and something that's so impressive to me is just how unfazed he is by everything.
He's gonna be a guy. The not catch he got today was ridiculous. I'm not saying that.
We'll see if this true freshman can stay relevant in the deep wide receiver room moving forward. For Colin Carruthers, I'm Tara Gillespie from Kinnick Stadium, DITV Sports.
After that offensive performance on Saturday, the Hawkeyes added another recruit to their class of 2025. 4-star wide receiver Terrence Smith committed to Iowa over rivals Minnesota, Purdue, and Iowa State. Smith is the 46th ranked wide receiver in his class and the 326th ranked receiver nationally. He has tallied 95 receptions for 1,535 yards and 17 touchdowns so far in his high school career. Smith will join Caleb Brown as the only 4-stars in the Hawkeye receiver room. Iowa women's soccer took down the 18th ranked Wake Forest Demon Deacons last night 2-0. Freshman forward Barrett Parton's 2 goals propelled the Hawkeyes to their 3rd win of the new season. The Iowa defense has been on fire as the Hawks have yet to allow a goal this year. Up next, the Hawkeyes will host the Baylor Bears this Sunday. The Hawkeye field hockey team battled through ACC competition over the weekend. The 6th-ranked Hawks took the 18th-ranked Wake Forest Demon Deacons to a shootout in the home opener on Friday. But Iowa pulled it out with a big-time goal from Dion Van Aslam. The Hawkeyes couldn't keep the train rolling, though, as they dropped the next matchup to the 2nd-ranked North Carolina Tar Heels 2-1 yesterday. The volleyball team got a couple of wins in the Puerto Rico Clasico over the weekend. First, the Hawkeyes swept Liberty in their season opener. Junior setter Claire Amaral led the way with 22 assists and 12 kills, tallying a double-double. Next, the Hawks took down Providence 3-1, led once again by Amaral. She followed up the double-double with a triple-double, racking up 34 assists, 17 digs, and 11 kills in the win. And Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever have been on fire lately. They have won 5 straight and 8 of their last 10, propelling them to the 6th seed in the WNBA standings. Clark and her Fever downed the Dallas Wings last night, with Clark dropping a double-double with 28 points and 12 assists. Clark is currently the favorite to win the WNBA Rookie of the Year award.
Lots of interesting things happening in sports, Brady. And switching gears just a little bit, you wouldn't believe this, but after 2 months on the run, a cow is now up for adoption. The Massachusetts Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, or MSCPA, says that the cow, nicknamed Moudini, spent most of the time that it was missing hiding in a thick brush. He was last seen in June before being spotted again last week After some medical exams and putting on weight, Mudini will be ready to go to his new owner. Thank you again for joining us online or listening on KRUI 89.7 FM.
We're here live from Iowa City every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you for joining us.